Slowly but surely, the craft beer fridge is filling up once again. Now let's get nicer out. Do you want to go inside, buddy? I know, you don't like the wind. The wind bothers you, I know. Well, good day, everybody. Welcome to today's video. Today's video, I got the parts coming in from Novak Conversions because now we can finally put things in place and decide the motor mounts are going to stay where they are. We followed the instructions. We put the motor mounts where they're supposed to be. We test fitted the engine. But now we've got some headers. We've got some other parts that are going to come into play later on. But let's have a look at this stuff. Plus, I got a new camera. You guys were complaining. I was using the GoPro Session, which is head cam. And you guys were complaining that some people are getting nauseous. So I upgraded the camera. Hopefully we can eliminate that issue. Let's get going. We still need to put some oil in this transfer case. Put the studs in the back. In this box we got some intake adapters. That's gonna get us going on the engine. This is the tach emulator that I've been waiting for, so I know which wires from the harness I can start deleting. This is one of the headers right here. This is the one from the driver's side. I already kind of just mocked up the passenger side right here because I still got to lift the engine up in the back, probably the last few weeks. The cylinder will probably creep down, but that'll kind of tilt it up a little bit. But you can see, man, that fits awfully close. So I got to get it back up into position, and we're going to see where everything's going to fit. So this is the new camera that I picked up, the GoPro Black Hero 7. I put a lens on the front. The lens is to protect the GoPro lens itself. I also got a neutral density filter. This just came in today, so this is going to be the first time I'm going to use it. Hopefully I have it set up all right. I went through, did the updates. We're going to find out. We're going to use this camera. You guys are going to have to let me know how it compares. I don't even know how good the audio is going to be. Anyways, let's get rocking. All right, so right now I'm just looking at the app because I want to know how my field of view is. This is the first time I'm going to be using this camera, so I got the stabilization on. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit smoother. You guys are going to have to let me know in the comments. All right, I guess I should get the studs out for the transfer case. Start putting those in. Ideally, I should use some red Loctite, but I think I'm just gonna use blue. I don't really want to put red and maybe damage the aluminum threads. I wonder if this shit's dried up. Oh, nope, it's not. I'm not gonna bore you guys with put all these in one by one because no one really gives a shit one way or another. I just need to get these studs in so when we're ready to install it. Got some head shake going on there, putting that in. Good chance to check out the stabilization of the new camera. Holy, I just want to catch a couple threads here, boys. Hey, that's all I want to do is just catch a couple threads so I can tighten that sucker up. That's what you gotta do. Except right there, you see it's not working like the way I had intended. Double nutted it, and I was hoping that would be enough to thread her in, but I just had to go a little bit tighter. I'm gonna thread this in. Right about there. Gonna bust the nut right off. Perfect. Well, this is interesting. I was quite sad that my headers didn't come with a sticker for my fridge, but I've never heard of applying silicone to the header flange instead of using a gasket. No gasket required. That's interesting. I was wondering why it had that kind of a setup on there instead of 100% smooth, but oh well. I may also buy some ceramic paint to paint these as well. Give them a nice touch. Crazy. Well, studs are in. Let's put some oil in her. Alright, I guess I'm going to throw about maybe half a quart in here. So the funny thing is, the other day I was thinking about, you know, funnels for something like this. You know, I don't have a funnel that's got like a short little piece on it, but I was on Thingiverse, and on Thingiverse I found a funnel I could 3D print that'd be perfect for filling stuff like this. My Honda generator, which I got to service pretty soon because the friends want to do some gold panning pretty darn quick. I used the Chevy front case instead of the Jeep because I preferred the plugs for fill on this one then versus the Jeep one. I can use a wrench on them. This is what I want to show you too on these old headers, how they're flat and how the gasket would seat on there. But got the new headers, so I can toss those out in the back for the scrap metal guy to come. And just as I thought, transmission starting to topple over. Need to jack that back up, try to give us back the height that I was thinking this may go. And I also see the transmission holes there. I might try to utilize the old transmission mount from the Jeep and then build a bracket to adapt to the bottom of there. But that's something else I need to figure out too. But I think I might be pretty good here as far as that goes. Jacked her up, gave me some good clearance there. How did it go as far as the header goes? Still gonna be pretty tight. And I would like to move the motor mounts ahead one more, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to. I think I might be stuck in the location that I'm at for safety. This side here is going to be the tight side because we got to get the header on there. Plus, I need to fit the steering up. That's going to be a telltale sign right there for sure. So that's kind of a pleasant surprise actually. The front drive shaft, I have to push it in, but you can almost utilize it. I just want to see, you know, do I have to make any other changes with the drive shaft? I was kind of worried that the drive shaft was going to come pretty close to the electronics on the side of the transmission, how it was going to, you know, come pretty close to the oil pan. The rear, definitely too short by about an inch and some, but I think that's pretty close on how it's going to sit. Now that is not going to work at all, unfortunately. I may, whoops, lost the light. See if I can get the light back. Come on. I may use the transmission mount and design something totally different. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge because I'm going to have to fit the bottom of the pan up and try to support that somehow. I guess it reaches back far enough. I could just probably ratchet strap it and suspend it up in the air while we try to figure out something. That's all to be determined right now, but it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Well, that's 2 hours of my life I won't get back. A 3D printing something. As you can tell, the 3D print is coming out like ass. Couldn't figure it out. You know, bed was level. Pissing around with the temperature. Why does some of it, you know, print fine? Why doesn't some of it, you know, print like ass? And what it turned out to be is that this was the far reaches of the extruder. So as it would pull, the filament roll was sticking. And because the filament roll was sticking, that's why the print turned out like ass. So I just spent the last little while making sure it was adjusted. And hopefully we should have a good print. All right, now we're back to the GoPro. Gonna review the footage afterwards, and hopefully it's better. The GoPro session, you know, worked great as a helmet cam, so you guys could see firsthand what I'm doing. However, stabilization wasn't that great, and I also found that the picture wasn't really all that sharp. It was pretty soft, so I'm hoping that you guys will be satisfied. I need to pull all these studs out of the head, and then I can fit up the other header. Let's grab this bad boy right here. Try to weasel it into place. Interesting how the headers aren't, they're not utilizing all the bolts in the head. Just throw a couple on here. Well, I'm not gonna mount it for real, but I guess this is kind of important that I should grab this that I've had laying on the ground and see where it's gonna fit up, because this is gonna come into play as far as the steering goes. I know you guys were talking about I should clear off my bench. I know where everything is, including that oil leak on that power steering pump. Now, oh shit. Kind of stuck in the frame there. That's not fucking good. That's not good at all. No, it's not. Fuck me. Alright, so we're hitting the frame. What can we do for modifications? For one, that return line can come off the back. This one here. That one is actually gonna pull that off. I should be using a flare wrench. Oh, came off pretty easy anyways. It's all good. It's all good. This will be your pressure line. Should probably grab this dirty old cum rag here and try to get as much of the wipe off much of that crap as I can. Before we go down the rabbit hole, I already have an idea. It's like anything else. If you want to do something custom, you gotta modify it. So I'm going to assume that the power steering line is probably the same style fitting, hopefully. That'll fit in there, but shit, now I just sprayed Loctite on the floor because fuck me. Fuck. Fuckity fuck. Alright. Power steering lines are touching on the frame. That's the situation right there. It may not be a big deal. It may be a big deal. Need to figure this out. That's not really the answer, I'm just kinking it, but what I think I'm gonna do is just cut this off, weld a nipple on the back, and that should solve my issues. Now let me just take this back around. I need to see how much clearance I'm gonna have. So that's gotta come fucking way the fuck up. Way up. Fuck it, I just gotta gut it. Shut her down. Decision has been made. And the Lord said, cut that off. And it was cut off. Fuck, what were the odds of that? Having a wrench. So that's how it looks from the front. Get a little closer up here. That's pretty close to the steering shaft for sure. Not sure I like that. And then you can see where I cut it off and the space. So I'll probably weld like a 90-degree hose barb going down. I'll just cut it off and then fit it over top and then weld it around. You can see right there. That's pretty close. Sure, I like that. I might start melting that. I don't know. People have done it. It's worked. Something I got to keep an eye on for sure, right? Another thing I was looking up since I'm putting rear discs in the back is I might swap out this for a adjustable proportional valve. That way I could adjust the brakes between the front and the rear. This will probably come off too, because I'll probably just route the battery cable from here down and out that way instead of coming to this side. The engine's kind of butt up against a tunnel right there. So once I grind it down, the engine might twist a little bit, which will come away from that frame, which will be nice. And then if it does, it'll definitely give us some more spacing there. Alright. I just got a fire going. And for shits and giggles, I got the FLIR camera. So you guys can see how the heat radiates around. It says the fire's about 150 degrees. Well, holy fudge packers. Last night, Trevor came over. I drank quite a few beers. She's getting kind of empty now. It's time to pull the front half of that engine off, get the headers off, rehook up the chains, pack up my little table, hey, my workbench. Let's get the sucker out of here in this video. I did check the GoPro footage last night and I'm pretty impressed with it. Think you guys will be satisfied as well. Okay, just setting up here, getting everything ready. It's my safety right there. Safety first. Just leave the bolt open in case I have to emergency fucking kick her out. Drop the engine on the ground. Chains are on. Got some tension on there. Doesn't look like nothing's kinked. We're already floating in there. Like I talked about before, what I'm gonna do is probably just pull the motor mounts off instead of trying to lift that whole bolt out. Well, I gotta come up pretty high anyway, so I might as well see if I can come off all in one. And then I'm gonna weld some key stock in there on those. And yeah, pull her out, clean up the frame, weld her up, put her back in for real. Well, the motor's out. There's no doubt in my mind that having the motor mounts put in place when you put the engine in is probably the answer. But how I'm gonna do that, like I talked about earlier, is that I got the plate here and it's got quite a bit of play in it, right? Some slop, but I don't know, can you guys see? Maybe I had it down too low and you couldn't see. Anyways, what I'm gonna do is, like I talked about, weld some key stock here, weld some key stock there, which is gonna hold this bolt solid in place. That way, the motor mounts can be sitting there somewhat tight on the mount, and I could kind of position it to where it's gotta be. And then when I'm done, I can just finish tightening up on the bottom. Because as you guys saw earlier, once it's on this motor, I don't know if they're all the same, if they're different, but once on this motor that I'm working on, there's no room to get a wrench in. So, got the engine sitting down there, it's resting, and you know what that means. Time to get to work. Get to work, get this done. That'll be in the next video. I think it's motherfucking beer time now. Well, there's not much selection, but let's kill this dry hop sour. This stuff is good, man. Alrighty, if you made it to this part of the video, it's motherfucking beer time. I've really been digging the sour beers. Sour beers and IPA have been on my top list. Anyways, cheers. Motherfucking beer time. That's a very crushable beer. Russell Brewing Company. Anyways, going forward, first off, I want to thank all my subscribers, all my viewers for watching this project take place. We're still in the early stages and I've already been noticing a big increase in views going forward with this project. I knew a long time ago I talked about I wasn't going to do anything more with the Jeeps. I didn't know where I was going to take my channel. I needed to sit down, really go through and think about, you know, what made my channel grow. And the thing that really made my channel grow was that majority of the people were from the Jeep community. And because of that, my Jeep got to where it was. That being said, going forward, we're going to finish this project. We still got a long ways to go. There's a shit ton of other videos. And of course, once again, if you want the DIY versions of what I'm doing, it'll be on my second channel. BSK Garage is the name. And yeah, the sooner we get this done, I'm hoping early summer. I was thinking May, but realistically, you know, the time I do the axles, lift kit, all that, it's probably gonna be pushing probably end of summer, you know, July at the earliest. I don't know. I'm just taking it one day at a time. It all depends on how much time I got, how much money I have to spend. And yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, taking part in this project, and fuck yeah, motherfucking beer time. If you're a sour beer drinker and you can find this, Russell Brewing, I highly check it out. Fucking good.